Hello, Adriana.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Oh, thank you for welcoming me back.
How did you feel like episode 1 went?
I feel like we just naturally talked, which made things pretty easy.
You feel like your boyfriend of almost 2 years, it wasn't that hard to talk to me for 1 hour?
I know, sometimes it's really difficult.
You're stupid.
Sometimes it's extremely difficult.
What did you feel like the highlights were?
Oh, I'm funny.
Is that what we landed on? Oh, okay.
I think so. I think we've come to the conclusion that I'm actually a partial comedian.
Okay. I guess. I feel like, one, thank you everyone who listened to the first episode. That was very
Thank
kind.
you.
There's probably like 100-something people that listened to the first one. Like,
I was actually shocked because we're just doing this for fun, so I didn't think anybody was actually going to like listen to it, and like the feedback that we got was kind of nice because I didn't think anything.
What was the feedback you got? You got some from like personal
people
life
at like
people.
work. They thought like it was so funny and that it's like genuinely like us, like how they interact with us on a daily basis, which was I was like, I don't think we could be any other way. So that was nice.
Yeah. I feel like we weren't there's not a lot of show to this. I feel like it's pretty accurate.
Yeah, there's
I'm
like
very
not any
worried
show.
that it doesn't look good or sound good, and I want it to look good and sound good so bad.
Well, that's because you're like a perfectionist on this type of thing. This is definitely more your thing than it is my thing.
Well, this just makes me so happy. Like, if this is what I could do, not even for myself, but for someone else, I feel like I would have such a good time doing it.
Okay.
And it's like you can get feedback of any kind from like so many different people, and
Yeah, I
you know,
agree.
it'll be for some people, it won't be for others, but why not just like go for it and have fun?
Yeah.
I feel like do you enjoy the process of doing this? It's like a unique, weird
Oh no, I let you do the process because if I had to do the process, we would never start.
No, but I mean like sitting down, talking to each other like formally but informally. It's a very weird medium to kind of talk to someone you know. You feel like you need to keep the conversation going?
No, because me and you can just talk about why ants are ants. Like it doesn't really, it doesn't really
I
matter.
don't think we talk about animals that much.
We talk about animals a lot.
Well, one piece of feedback that we got was, if you don't know who we are, what are we like boys? Are we friends? Like, what? Who are you to me? And think very, very clearly about this.
Okay. I am his beloved.
My sugar mama. Oh, okay.
I'm his beloved. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, yeah? That's one. That's definitely one version of what you are to me, yes.
No, I'm your girlfriend.
Okay, GF.
GF to the max.
GFBF. Yeah.
GFB.
Boyfriend?
Oh,
What
I
I
meant
am
best
to you.
friend.
Whoa.
I was like, GFBF.
Oh, that's what I am?
I was like,
I'm a best
whoa.
friend. Oh, shoot. Nah. Okay.
So we
For
are
anyone who
dating.
doesn't know,
Yes.
we're in a relationship. Crazy. She's 40. I'm 20. And
Hey.
life is just good.
Yeah, but I mean, I would look 20. I'm the one that looks 20 and you look 40.
Oh, you think I look old? I don't think I look that old.
I'm definitely older.
Okay.
That's definitely a sure thing.
We
I
won't get
am
into
older.
that at the moment.
No,
But-
oh, jinx. But I definitely look younger than he does.
Okay. So we're together. We're in a relationship. Anyone who is following either of us on primarily Instagram, I've been doing it. I've been putting it
Yeah.
back on our Twitter.
I don't tweet.
I'm Ellis1994 on Instagram. You're Adriana Mendez with what? Two Z's? 22. 92?
Yeah, 92. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't
If
give it
you
out like
find basically my social media, you'll be able to find your social media. That's kind of how it works.
that. Yeah, yours is easier to find.
But I put up like just a little questionnaire poll, which thank you to several people who got back to me with a lot of
Yes.
great questions. And one of the things was like, how'd you guys meet? Which is a great story.
I mean,
Do you want to tell your version of how we met? And I'll tell my version of how we met.
yeah, I guess. Well, I mean, a lot of this might be the same from your initial story, but for anybody that doesn't know us, I work retail. So I work for the Bullseye.
Big brand.
Yeah, I
Oh,
work
you
for
just
the-
want to throw it out there?
Yeah,
Okay.
I work for the
Go
Bullseye.
For it. Okay.
I've worked for them for a while, and I had a great opportunity of opening up a brand new store. And in that process, because it was a new store opening, they pulled pretty much a lot of talent throughout the district. So
Is that what we'll call each other? Talent?
I'm talent.
Sounds
I'm
like we're getting
great.
casted for a porn.
What would your porn name be?
Oh, I should never have a porn name. There's no way. I wouldn't have anything good.
We'll ask Terrell. Terrell will come up with a good one for you.
Sure.
But
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
needless to say, we opened up this store, and during my training, I had not yet met anybody that I was working with because I was still in school at the time. I was doing summer classes. And everybody was just like, oh, we love Nathan. Nathan's great. You're going to get you're going to get
Which, by
along
the way,
with him.
thank you to anybody who was telling her that.
Yeah, because we hadn't met.
That was not, because I'm not saying it. That was the, unanimous feedback. There was a lot of hype going into
there
you and I
was
meeting.
so much hype, meeting
all right,
you.
Cool. I just want to make sure that's legit.
No, that's actually
Right,
legit.
okay,
I'm
we'll
not
take
making
it.
that up. But they were like, oh, you're going to love him. Great personality.
Right,
He's so
check,
funny. Great
check,
guy.
Check.
Your personalities are going to mesh so well because I'm very
Check.
outgoing.
So you walk right into it thinking, oh, I got my man.
No, I walked
walk
into it
into it
thinking this is nice. Like somebody who's like a nice big personality that I can mesh with because I'm a lot and I know I'm a lot.
Yeah. 11 out of 10 at all times.
Yes, pretty much.
For sure.
That is me. No filter. You just get who I am. So the day comes and we were doing what? The hiring event? Yeah, we were doing a hiring event.
No, we initially, because I remember what I was wearing only because you told me what I was wearing at that point. And
no, we met at the hiring event. It was in Collingswood.
Yeah. So this is out in Jersey. So we're in a field. We're in a field, like a high school or something.
No,
like
that wasn't me. That was the girl somebody else that wanted you. Because we didn't meet there.
Really?
We didn't meet there because I didn't go there. I had school.
Oh, you did have school. Okay.
Yeah, you're so dumb. You don't even know how we met.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Yeah,
Don't listen to his story. It's not credible. Just listen to mine.
All right, go ahead.
So anyway, we met at the hiring event. And
that was at a ballroom or something,
yeah.
Right?
So I'm getting introduced to all the people that I'm going to be working with, all the other leaders. And lo and behold, here is this infamous Nathan that everybody's just ranting and raving about. That's so amazing. And I literally am like, oh, hi, you're Nathan. And he was like, hi. I was like,
yo, I did not come off
what?
that dry.
Dull. My first impression.
No, I wasn't.
Dull. I was like, oh, what was this hype? Because you definitely got so much hype for how you presented yourself. I was like, oh no, this man is whack.
Whoa.
Cornball.
Do not use those
Nathan,
words to describe
you
me.
literally had a bandana in your head with a t-shirt and khakis.
That was it though.
And you were like, hi.
I was not in a t-shirt. It was a work event. We were in button-up shirts.
You were not in a button-up shirt. Don't play yourself.
Look, either way, okay? This is what you need to know. So, I'll just work up until that point there.
What they need to know is that I was just not intrigued on this first impression.
Okay, but I was not trying to intrigue you.
Oh, and then you had a tail that followed you.
Okay, listen.
Oh, that's a whole other thing too.
You were my coworker at the time. So I was like, okay, I don't I wanted this to all go well, right? By the way, coming into this, I had also heard about you, and people are like, oh, Adriana, you're going to love her. She's crazy. She's a good time, a lot of energy, high maintenance,
So
annoying,
bougie. I'm very
everything like
bougie.
that. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I can't wait to deal with her. So, I know in the back of my head that I'm about to meet you. So I'm like, okay, I do this counter thing where I'm like, I don't meeting someone at their full on tilt personality is a lot. This is the first time we're meeting. It doesn't need to be this whole extra thing. You're my coworker. We're about to work together. I just want to introduce myself nicely, easily, formally, and just keep it pushing. And
but I think I did that.
we'll
but
meet
you got
each
my
other,
personality.
But we'll meet each other as we meet each other. So you come to meet me, and you think I'm about to I don't know, do a stand-up set or something and like blow you away. And I'm like, bro,
I wasn't expecting
I'm like, bro, I don't
that.
have a joke for you. You know what I mean? Like, there's no gimmick. Like, this is just, it is what it is. So when I meet you, the same thing. Like, you walk in, I just say what's up. But at the time, you were the last person that I met. So I had already met all of my other leaders. Like, I had some sort of bond.
You
Like,
had
you were
bonded
the
with
last
them.
one there. So I was like, I mean, it sounds bad to say, but I was like, honestly, 5 out of 6, I'm good with. Like, if this girl is crazy and I don't mess with her, then like, that's fine. But after we met that first time, we really didn't like build any sort of rapport with each other until we started to work together at the store. Because everyone should know we were opening up a brand new Target, like from the ground up, looking at it on a blueprint, like hiring all these new people in the construction site. Like, it was very intense. So we spent a lot of time together.
Yeah, we
and
did.
I think that basically, you know, you get to the end of these days and it's like, yo, I need to decompress. Like, let's just go get a beer or let's get some food or something like that.
Yeah.
And I think, believe it or not, I was in charge of customer service, like experience.
Oh,
so
because
like,
of this big personality
right,
that you
this big
supposedly
personality.
had,
Oh,
but
yeah.
dull.
But first of all, you don't need to talk shit on it. Second of all, she was in charge of like all the clothing and the fashion. So like we were always on two very different sides of the workday. Like, I didn't interact with you a lot.
No.
I felt like when I talked to you and you
was
talked to
in
me,
passing.
we almost learned a lot about what was happening from talking with each other, which was helpful. But we could also commiserate and, you know, just blow off steam and talk to each other like coworkers would at the end of a long day. And we kind of like grew that bond together. And
Yeah.
it was easier for us to start to like build a relationship and build good rapport because we had to be on the same page about basically everything, like going forward with this process.
But even then, like even before the store opened, like we hung out a lot.
Yeah.
Like we just, it got to the point by like the third day, like our personalities just like meshed.
People
By that
definitely
time-
knew that we were like very cool. I genuinely didn't think that people thought anything.
Oh no, they definitely did.
You thought so?
Oh yeah, no, they would ask me all the time. And you know me, deny.
You know me, I
So-
don't care.
I mean, I was denying because I just felt like it was nobody's business at the time.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
I mean, it didn't interfere with my work and, you know, we remained professional at work, but it was just nobody's business. The only thing that like kind of threw a wrench in everything is at the time there was a girl that she didn't necessarily work under me, but she was like my peer and I was supposed to help like develop her and get her to like the next level coming into the store. And she had the hugest crush on Nathan. Like completely. And I knew this like pretty much from the jump, which was okay because at that time, like I wasn't interested in you. Like you're not.
This was very much an independent thing for you. I did not really.
Well, you didn't, but it was like a
Yeah.
thing because like
This was a thing
I
for
feel like
you.
girls are different. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
girls
I
and
didn't-
guys are different. So for me, like meeting you, yeah, it was like the first impression. Like 3 days in, like we started like vibing, and you know, I finally got your personality, and I understood where people were coming
Oh,
from.
so I hit the mark.
Eventually, you
So
got
forget
there.
all this other BS. What was the moment where you were like, oh, okay, he's not like a total dickhead? Like, what is
I
it?
think it was. Remember when we did that interview together?
Which one?
We did this like hour-long interview together, and it was
With who? Someone we were
I can't
hiring?
remember.
An
It was somebody.
hour-long
It was
interview?
somebody we were hiring, and we were interviewing,
No, I remember.
and we like jumped off
I
each other.
remember
It was.
which-
Oh, I was like, okay. I was
No.
like, I get it.
All I remember about this experience was there was a reason that you and I never did interviews together, because amongst all the leadership in the building, it was like no one. I mean this very humbly because we're not those type of people, but it's a lot. Like if you and I are riffing and the energy's going and it's like back and forth, not even on some like cute stuff, you know, I like you, you like me, just you meet someone where you're
We're like on the same level.
Your current is going at the same point. Yeah. And they were like, oh no, like Nathan's got to be with someone a little bit, to level him out. And someone's got to be with Adriana to level her out. So for whatever reason, we were together for this interview. And it was like, okay. I remember getting a pep talk before it. And like from our boss, which whatever.
Really?
Or HR, someone like that. And was like, yo, okay, like we need to, remain professional, do it together. And that was never our shtick. It wasn't like we were unprofessional. It was just like I would say that one of my strengths in interviewing people is that I can get someone to get out of their comfort zone very quickly, right? Like you are the same way. You can get someone to feel like they're your friend very fast. And pro tip for when you're interviewing for a job,
don't fall for it.
Don't drop your guard and start
fall for it.
Cursing or telling me about your weekend and how hammered you got and you're tired. Like, I'm not your friend. So you need to remember that because you're in a professional work environment. Anyway, that is a hot tip. I feel like a lot of young kids, 16, 17 years old, you come in, you feel like, oh, there's this young leader, they're going to be cool. No, like, I have to hold you accountable.
No, because I think you took everything more serious than I did.
I'm fun, but when it comes to work, I don't play around.
That's
like,
very true.
You better show up and you better show out because I am. So,
but needless to say, how we met by opening up this new store.
Yeah.
And then my first impression of you ultimately was you were dull. And then we meshed. And then we hung out, and it kind of just built from there. I think with us, like, we've always been able to communicate in a way where it's like we understand each other, and there's not really many things that like we don't feel comfortable talking about. And we're able to just be very honest. Because like anybody that knows me, I have a past. I don't deny it.
It's not that crazy of a past, but okay.
Yeah, like
yeah,
like anybody, they have a past.
You were a single lady.
I was very
living
single,
your single
and
lady
I was
life.
living that life.
I was a single man.
You just weren't living the life.
I live a different life.
You didn't
than
live
you.
the life that I
live
did.
a different life than you.
So being able to be friends, like we built this friendship. And ultimately, like, it was a friendship, and then it evolved to, this attraction. Because anybody that like truly knows me, Nathan is not my type at all. I would swipe left on Tinder.
You don't like a nice white Jewish boy.
No.
Goals. Striving.
It's not about the goals and stuff. It was just, oh, that sounds so bad. But like,
I'm not a huge black dude. That's what you were shooting for. And you came out.
I like culture. Yes.
Whoa, I'm cultured.
Yeah, but I meant like, I like the African American culture.
Oh, okay.
Very strongly.
Yeah.
Like if I was to leave you, it'd definitely be for my guy. For sure. Hands down.
Okay, got it. So if you're a black guy and you're listening to this, just know if this ever ends, you got at least 25% chance regardless of what you look like. It's pretty much you're all the way up there.
You have a good shot.
Okay, so yes, definitely outside of our comfort zones for each of us.
For sure.
But there were a lot of good things that like we could bounce off of each other, and just like we could really relax around each other and just have fun, whatever, hang out by like my parents' pool or something at the time and just be easy.
Yeah, it was something that was never forced. When we were together, it was never a situation of, oh, like, how are we going to have this conversation, or how are we going to interact with each other, or is there an awkward moment?
But it's also because there wasn't an expectation.
There was no expectation.
Like, the thing that I always told you was I don't date my coworkers. Like, no way.
And I was the same.
Yep. We were the same way. So that's why when we hung out, I think even if like other people perceived us as being like closer than we were, in the back of my mind, I really always held true to that. I was like, it doesn't matter how this goes. Like, it's going to take a lot, which I guess it did, for me to like pursue you, because I feel like we both had worked so hard to that point to try to get to this like
Goal.
piece, this piece of our like very, very young careers at that point. But we were proud of where we were, and we didn't want to jeopardize that or ruin it. And I took that into account a lot. But at the end of the day, I think it all
worked out. I mean, it all played itself out. But what was your first? Okay, so we talked about my first impression. Mm-hmm. What was your first impression?
My first impression of you was I just didn't have one. Like I genuinely came into it so like emotionally colorblind about everything. Like I wasn't. I mean, Jesus. At that point, I was coming off of a pretty fresh breakup. I didn't really desire anything else. I mean, I'm a hoe. I'm an emotional hoe. Like I'm bad with like liking someone unemotionally. If I like you, I like you emotionally. So that's what's going to get me. So if I can make you my friend and believe that you're my friend, then I don't feel invested in the way that someone else would, because you're just my friend. So like I maintained that for pretty much as long as I could. But no, I mean, when I met you, I would say that I was interested in getting to know who you are, because I feel like there's very few people in my life. I feel like there's few people in most people's lives where you meet someone and it doesn't matter if they're like super type A or super type B. You find some people in your life that really match whatever your natural energy is, and you want to know more about who they are to see if you have like the same past. And we both came from very different like ideas of growing up and who we are as people and our past relationships and how we got to this point. But yeah, we both really did have this very similar personality, and it was like any one of my friends that was hanging out with us or your friends that was hanging out with us, it was always like, oh wow, this is like Nathan's. I've never met someone who's as high energy as Nathan, and your friends have never met someone more kind of like me, where people are for real asking both of us, like, is this serious? Like, is this for real? And then you have to take this moment to be like, yeah.
Well, no, like even like telling my mom, because we had like this grand opening, and my mom, this is the thing, is I don't introduce people to my parents. Like it's not that, and it's not that I don't have a great relationship with my parents. I have a phenomenal relationship with my parents. It's just that from my prior experiences, if this isn't going somewhere, like I'm not wasting my time
of course.
to introduce you and then have to explain who you are in my life. You're just going to be who you are in my life in secret. Best way to put it. So we had this grand opening, and I literally remember telling you, I was like, I'm not introducing you to my mom. Like, she's going to be there, but you're not meeting her. And he was like, damn if I'm not.
Keep going.
So he ends up, she's there, and he ends up like finding her like in the crowd. And actually,
no, I run out to the parking lot.
No, but no, originally you like find her and you like introduce yourself in the middle of everybody, like being inside the building. And then she goes to leave because at the time, like I lived about an hour away, so I was commuting. And Nathan literally runs out of the building to go say bye to my mom. Who does that? Like,
Wait, hold on.
She was not supposed to know about you. But in my defense, my mom didn't think anything, because guess what? You weren't black.
No.
She had no idea.
Best friend that she came with told her, and I forget who she was with, told her, she was like, who is that? She's like, oh, that's Adriana's friend or whatever. Regardless, the only reason I ran out to say hi to her is because I have been friends with you for, I mean, a pretty good amount of time at that point. And I was like, I'm finally going to meet your mom. Like, I want to say goodbye to her. At least, like I said, hi. She was very excited. I was very excited for like the whole moment of us being there. And then I ran out. I was like, like, bye. I don't know if I'm ever going to see you again. So like, it was nice to meet you. Thanks for coming. I was trying to be a nice guy, which I feel like generally I am most of the time. And then that was it. It did make a lasting impression though.
Yeah, my mom was so funny. She was like, She was like, yeah, my friend was like, oh, he likes her. He has to like her. Who runs out and says that? And my mom was like, girl, are you crazy? She likes black guys. He's not black.
So anyway, yes, that's how we met.
We met.
And then we took it from there.
Working. So we worked together. So we both broke our rules of not dating coworkers. And yeah, now we're together.
And then we took it from
crazy.
there. Which, I mean, I think it definitely worked out. It's a lot, but it's all good. So then the follow-up question to that question was, what works for us in our relationship? Like, I would say we're definitely very honest, very communicative. But I think there's also this piece of it where I would love to hear from any couple basically living together, is that we both still, I mean, I don't work for the company anymore, but we still work very intense day jobs. Like there's a lot going on. It's high stress. There's a lot of risk involved at times. And like, you want to feel like you can come back somewhere and relax and be yourself, and you don't want to feel like you have to
keep putting on a show.
Yeah, exactly. I think I was talking to someone, I forget who I was talking to this about, but I was talking to Terrell about this. We'll have Terrell on the pod for sure.
Oh, we have to have Terrell.
Terrell's one of my best friends that I met
love him.
from the company.
And we met him through Target,
Yeah, through Target,
which is crazy.
But just talking about the idea of, you can have a really big personality and that's awesome. But I think that a lot of times people don't realize a lot of my anxiety comes from feeling like you need to put on this attitude or this show for people, right? Like whatever the best version of ourselves are, there's stress that comes with that, where every day I need to come into work and be this person that, it's like before you even met me,
like
all these people are telling you about me. And right now there's this expectation. Oh my God. Okay. So being able to come back home to someone who is like of equal energy, but we actually have a very different relationship at home than I feel like people probably see when we are out in public together.
I agree with that. I feel like when we're out,
actually really
we definitely
quiet.
are big and we are who we are, because we can be that big personality, but we can also be very toned down depending on just where we're at. And I think I feel the same way that you do. Like I lead so many people on a day-to-day basis. I interact with people that are shopping. I interact with a team of all different, age gaps and all different backgrounds, and having to adapt my personality to fit the needs of who I'm interacting with. And it's constantly like I'm on stage.
Yeah. You're basically code switching all the time.
All the time. I'm constantly on stage. So by the end of the day, after trying to burn out all these fires and problems that are happening to try to fix them, and then, changing your personality to fit the needs of who you're interacting with, which I interact with so many people on a day-to-day basis. At that time, like when I come home, I'm drained.
Yeah.
Like I'm just so like emotionally, like physically drained just from trying to keep up with this high level. Because people respond higher to a high level, high intense, especially when you're trying to perform at a certain level. So trying to keep that constant.
You're trying to project the type of energy and outcome that you want.
Exactly.
You're bringing that. Yeah.
So by the time I get home, I don't want to talk really.
Yeah.
I just want to cook dinner. How was your day? Are you okay? Anything you need to get off?
Yeah.
What TV show are we watching?
Yeah.
And we're in bed by 9:30.
Yeah.
It's great.
It actually is. It's a pretty laid back energy once we're together.
But I love it because I can look like a troll under the bridge and he still thinks I'm cute.
That's not what I care about. But I think that, there's something to be said for like, you got to find someone where when you're, if you meet someone like at the peak of who they are, I think about that sometimes like, okay, so you met him, when he was in a band playing an instrument or something like that, and you fell in love with him in that moment. And it's like, you're not going to, majority of your time, it's not going to be with him when it's in that moment. It's going to be when he's not in that moment. You're going to see him the 1% of the time when he's in that moment. And you're going to have all the backstory on this person, right? Like, you lose the illusion of the mystery of who this person is. Like, we all go through our routines to get ourselves into that personality and trying to make it work. Maybe some people don't. I know we do. And it's definitely our strength, but it's also your biggest weakness too. Is like, you know, some days if you're not bringing it as well as you did before, people are looking at you like, what the fuck?
Or like, what's wrong?
Yeah, what's wrong?
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, how come you're not doing this? I'm just like, whoa. Like, worry about yourself. You know, like, I'm worrying about myself. I'm protecting my energy. So I personally, just for I want to hear what you think, obviously, but like, for what works for us is that it sounds corny, but I can be myself around you. And I think that the version that you see of me would surprise probably most of the people in my life to think that, oh, like, Nathan gets like that. And you're like, oh, well, yeah, that's not, and I don't think that you think that's good or bad, but there's definitely an element of like decompression, like a cool down period. I say communication kind of falls into that, but also a lot of times it's like, I don't want to say anything, right? There's a lack of communication.
And
sometimes,
I just let you do that.
but not in a bad way, because I know it comes off in the same way. You know, you're going to be able to read your partner eventually and be like, oh, all right, well,
it's just one of those days.
let's just eat a cheeseburger and you go to bed.
Yeah, like I just need time to just, And I think like, even then there's times where he's just like, Adriana, you're too much right now. And I'm just like, got it. And like, I completely tone it back and just give you your space, and he'll come back around when he's ready. And it's learning that balance. It's not that he doesn't want to be around me or that he doesn't want me there, but you sometimes just need your space.
Yeah.
And that's something that I think we do well with. But the biggest thing for us is definitely communication. And I can honestly say, like, we trust each other. Like, I don't have any doubts that he's lying to me. He'd be dumb if he is, because I'll shank the shit out of you. Because I'll find out. But remember, guys, he's a great liar, so we'll see.
Yep.
No, but what works for us is definitely the communication aspect, and like, we can fully be ourselves around each other, where there's no hiding. I feel like we don't hide who we are. Yeah. But we're able to, even like, for me, this is the first relationship that I've ever been in where I feel like it's extremely healthy. I'm genuinely happy. You know, sometimes you put
That's
on a
good.
fake
That's
thing
reassuring.
where, like, you're not happy.
Tell me now. It's only episode 2.
You're trying it. But no, I'm genuinely happy, and we're truly in a good spot.
Which is the only reason I would try to do something like this. Because this, especially this medium, like this, like a podcast, a long form conversation with someone, it's like, if you're lying to each other, you got a lot of opportunity for it to come out.
It's all going to come out. No, but we have really good, like, overall, this relationship has probably been one of the healthiest that I've been in, and it's because of the communication. Probably. Okay, it is.
Yeah, it is. It is the number, unless there's one that I don't know about.
Nah.
Oh, okay. All right, good.
No, you know about all of them. So we're genuinely good, but we have a lot of trust in each other, and yeah.
We can get more specific.
Do you think, like, it's okay? Because I know, like, you have the password to my phone. Do you think that in relationships, like, people should normally share their, like, passwords and stuff? Like, how do you feel like with me giving you that access? Like, do you feel like that puts you at ease?
Oh, God.
Not that you necessarily use it all the time.
I'm the worst for this answer because I don't care. I don't. Like, if you're, I genuinely feel like I'm the type of person where even if we were together for years, I took this advice from my parents, who just told me, like, hey, if you're going to cheat on me, just tell me that you did it. Like, I'm not going to be the type of person to be like, oh, why'd you do that? Clearly something is fucked up here. Like, whether that's me or whether that's you, I don't need to, like, establish blame, but I need to just understand, like, okay, well, what's the landscape here? Like, if you feel like you're going down that road, you should be telling me that. And if you can't tell me that, then that means there's already miscommunication somewhere. It means that we already don't trust each other. And I think that, like, I have the password to your phone, and I mean, you know the password to my phone, but I'm genuinely, like, I'm not hiding anything. Like, if you're in a relationship and you're hiding something, it's like, I've never understood that concept where you're a guy or a girl and it's like, yeah, I want to get into a relationship with this person, but then I also want to cheat on them and be in this like pseudo relationship with this other person. It's like, bro, why don't you do what is called as being single, and then you can do whatever the fuck you want? Why do you have to do this to that person and then mess with them and be with another person? It's like, I don't understand that power game, because I feel like the ultimate power game would be, I'm single, I do what I want, I'm with whoever I want, and I take it from there. And I don't answer to anybody.
But I feel like that also just explains like the type of person you are, because there are guys that are out there that how many girls they can like sleep with and how many girls they can actually like.
It's like a game, right?
It's not even like it's like a reassuring thing of like, oh, I got this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm still on my game. Like, okay, like I'm good. You know what I mean?
Oh, so
it's like a reassurance for them. Like, oh, like, yeah, I got this.
Oh, so it's a reassurance in like establishing their like masculinity and sexuality, and that I can be in a relationship with you, but I can also project this energy onto someone else, get what I want, but it's just a power grab. It doesn't actually mean anything. I just want that for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just.
And I think it really just depends. I think it just depends on the person, because some people are genuinely like that. Like, fortunately for me, like you're not like that. And I think also like where I'm at in my life, fits where you're at in yours, and that works. Like we are also, I don't feel like I'm catching up to you, and you don't feel like you're catching up to me.
Yeah, we're not in competition with each other about
we're
stuff.
not in competition with each other, but like from a financial standpoint, from like a goals aspect,
I'm fucking loaded.
That's why you gotta get yourself a Jewish man. Listen here.
No, yeah.
But like that also helps us in like our relationship. Like we don't have to question, our finances. When we go out, like you can pay for it, I can pay for it, we can split it. Like it doesn't matter for us, and it's never a sense of we can't do this today because of this.
But it is true, like finding a situation where you're really not keeping score with someone is very difficult, and I don't underestimate that. I mean, to a certain extent, I feel like we're lucky that we found each other, and not like a corny way, but also because, I mean this in the nicest way possible, I genuinely do not give a fuck about not what you would think about me, but we came into this relationship very honest. And I feel like that's the key. It's like, you met me, you heard the things coming out of my mouth, the way that I feel, the way that I live my life, my energy. Like I was not trying to impress you. It's a very organic thing, and you came the same way at me. I knew a lot about you before I ever was emotionally entwined with you. And that just kind of, it just builds off of that, because then I never feel the need to like prove something to you.
So then my question to you is because,
and the quick answer is, which would surprise you, yes, I feel like in a relationship, I should be able to have the password to your phone. However, I'm never going to use that power against you, because I would just, if I thought something was weird and something was up, I would just ask you. And then if you're lying to me.
Well, Nathan thinks I'm a bad liar anyway, so.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, whatever, your phone. But, you can tell nowadays, especially if you're under, 45 years old. Like, we all know when someone's phone is set up a little weird and I can't see your messages and you get no notifications, and, you only use these apps sometimes, and he's always taking his phone to the bathroom and he'll take it away. He doesn't, like I'll leave my phone at dinner. I don't take my phone to the bathroom at a restaurant if it's out on the table and it's there with you and your family. It's like, I mean, unless I'm going to go take a smash or something, and I need it, but I'm not worried about something. You can, I mean, maybe, we have good, like, emotional quotient, like, ability to read other people, but I don't think that I'm, like, especially high on that. I just think I'm not worried about it. Like,
Yeah.
If you felt that way, I would want you to do you and be happy and go pursue those things. But yeah, like just give me your password, because if you're laying on the ground, dead or something, and I like need
That's
your
traumatic.
phone, or if something happens and I just need access to this thing, it's like, yeah, it's just like another resource, but I don't feel the need to like utilize it.
I can agree with that. So then the other question I have for you is because we came into this completely no expectations, and it just kind of evolved to what it is now. What do you feel like your turning point it was from being non-expectation to getting emotionally involved?
I just think I started. It sounds bad, but it happens naturally. Like I never felt the need to. I never felt the need to do anything. I never felt the need to pursue you. I never felt the need to like establish a relationship with you. It just kind of happened to where I was unhappy at what I was doing with the company, and I wanted to leave, and I knew that would also like kind of foster this relationship with you, and I could pursue that if I left, like for real. And it was kind of like, it was a win-win either way. I got to a point in my life at that point where I was like, you know what, I can see whatever this is between the two of us, and I can see where my life can go after this. And it was just a good jumping off point. Like,
Yeah.
You were a good reason to push myself and to get out of me being unhappy. And
I'm great.
yeah, to a certain extent it is. Sometimes it takes those types of moments, but I don't feel like there was like one day
Yeah,
where
I think it was definitely like an evolving thing.
it was a super, super, super gradual build.
It was
very
definitely a slow.
slow.
It was a slow burn.
Oh my
for
God.
Sure.
I knew you for like a year, all day, every day, before
Okay, not a year.
anything. It was a good while.
Good while, yes.
A good while with not a lot of talk about anything or any strings attached.
And I think for us also, like what works and what makes us so much stronger in our relationship is that our families love us. Like his family loves me.
Yeah.
My family adores him. Like there's never a time where we have to question.
How could they not, right?
You're so extra.
Oh, well, while I go pee. It's amazing that I can't make it through an hour of this without having to pee.
Because you have a baby bladder.
I do have a baby bladder. But talk to them about your theory on how you can't be an asshole and ugly.
Oh, it's a good theory.
And speak into the mic better.
Okay.
Because I see your levels and they're not as like loud as mine.
I don't care.
Yeah.
So this is my
I'm gonna get
theory.
you your own little boom mic right to your face. Go ahead.
So as he was saying, like, you go through life like dating, and I know I'm speaking from a girl's perspective. So everybody pretty much has a type. Whoever says they don't have a type is lying, because that's just kind of what we build, our models on. Granted, Nathan is not my type physically, but the emotional aspect and our goals and our morals and everything pretty much align. Our value on family aligns. And those are things that I definitely like had on my checklist. So when it comes to like dating, my theory is you cannot be ugly and an asshole. Those two things do not go together. You can't be ugly and want to cheat on your significant other and, just be a dick. Like, I don't even know. Everybody like describes that in a different way. So I don't know how to necessarily describe it in a way where it kind of can, go for everyone. But that's my theory. You cannot be ugly and an asshole. You can be ugly and charming, because then you have something going for yourself. Like, you have something going for yourself, something that is intriguing, something that is different than what other people are bringing to the table, even if you are not the most attractive. I shouldn't say ugly because, beauty's in the eyes of the beholder, for sure. What I might not like, somebody else will. Mm-hmm. But You can't be an asshole and unattractive. Now, if you're hot, I expect it. I expect that I might get cheated on.
Really?
Yeah.
You expect that from guys. Like, if you're an attractive dude, you would expect, like, oh, if he's an asshole, you'll cheat on me.
Yeah.
Jesus, that is so upsetting.
Like, it's like me going into it, and maybe it's like a defense mechanism. I don't know. But, like, it's like, oh, I expected that.
I feel like I've just been luckier. And I have not had experiences of being cheated on, like, as much as you.
Oh, I've definitely been cheated on. What? I've been cheated on. I've been used.
God.
I've been,
just fucking thrown around.
Yeah. I've chose, like, really
just senseless
bad people. I just made decisions that just weren't great. Or, you know, at times maybe I chose people that were broken, you know, in their way of adapting with themselves and, you know, their past, where they just couldn't be the person that I needed. And also I know, like, I'm the type of person where I'm completely, like, I'm very understanding. I am so understanding. I give people the benefit of the doubt, which is probably sometimes one of my downfalls. But I'm extremely understanding. So, like, even when I was dating, like, I was understanding on, you know, oh, like, I can't hang out with you because this, and this. And I'd be like, okay, like, I get it. Like, no problem. Now I'm like, the fuck you talking about?
You have a very
Don't
long
play me.
You have a very long leash. You can give
do.
people a long, long leash, and they don't deserve that much of a leash. Like,
And that's one of my faults. You know, that's definitely a fault that...
That's not a fault. I don't think that's, like, a bad thing. I think it's just that you have to do a better job of monitoring...
I agree.
You know, your emotional connection to this person. Like, if you're going to let them walk 2 blocks ahead of you, and you can't see them anymore...
Or I have a thing where, like, I used to let people come back.
Oh, yeah. Fuck that.
Oh, like, I was so freaking stupid.
You
like,
cheat
now
on me
I
and
think
you want to come back?
No, not even necessarily just cheating on me. Like,
no.
There was somebody that I was, you know, dealing with for 3 years.
Yeah.
You know, on and off. And we were never officially in a relationship. We were never, like, boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, that wasn't us. But, you know, 4 months would go by. Hey, how are you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Classic,
what's up?
you know, like, trash dude. Yeah.
And I wouldn't necessarily say, like, that person was trash, just because I tried to take a look at it. And I think that in the time of their life, they just couldn't be what I needed. And in a way, I respect it, because you could have been in a relationship with me and been horrible, been completely and utterly horrible. And you chose to not go that route. And ultimately, yes, it's, you know, we both played a part, but I allowed it. And that's something that I had to learn myself, like, evolving through relationships, is, you know, I'm only going to allow what I want to allow. And, you know, through that, I found you.
Check. A+.
You give yourself a lot of credit, sir. But, you know, I found you. And even then, like, I was just getting out of dealing in that situation when me and you met. And it's crazy because of that situation, and because of the person that you are and what you were able to give me emotionally and, you know, as a friend, and the honesty, it drew our attraction to each other. Well, for me personally, like, more intensely. And basically that situation, like, kind of pushed me towards you, but not for the wrong reasons. It's just you were able to give me what I wasn't getting.
Yeah, I'm a giver.
You are a giver. You're definitely a giver.
I think that caps off a good portion of relationship advice. I mean, if people really want to hear this...
I don't think that's advice, because everybody's relationship is different. That's the thing. Everybody's relationship is different. This is not advice.
Yeah.
This is just what works for us. And people just have to find what works for them. And what, you know, works for their significant other, or what they need for themselves to prosper in a relationship. This is just what works for us. It's not that our relationship is better than anybody's.
Yeah.
It's just our relationship.
Yeah. I've never really tried to compare my relationship to anyone else's.
No, because there's things that we do that people would probably never do.
Yeah.
Like, I basically moved in.
Basically.
Okay, that's like another story.
What?
I moved in and it was, like, never announced, or
Shoot.
I just didn't leave.
Yeah. Anyway, I do. I feel like, you know, you just kind of take it in stride. There's so much expectation in all of our daily lives.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can have a lack of expectation in your own relationship and really just kind of hang out and be patient and be who you are, then it's going to work out better. It's not to say that, you know, we are Jesus, I hope so that we last forever. But
yeah,
it's at least the best way to give yourself the strongest start is to know that you're not walking into it and saying, wow, I got to maintain something,
mm-hmm.
right? There's no mask.
There's no maintenance here. We are who we are individually, and then together we work. Mm-hmm. We work at our relationship. I don't think that it necessarily comes easy for us because I'm a lot. I'm annoying. I'm annoying as hell. I'm annoying. I say some weird shit. I do some, I don't even know, because sometimes I lay in bed and I think about myself and I'm like, girl, you gotta get your shit together because you are a hot mess.
Well, I don't think of you like that, so I think that's the key.
I know, but
yeah,
sometimes I reflect and I'm just like, damn, I'd hate me. I'd kick my ass out. Not that I would hate me, but I would definitely kick my ass out.
Oh my God.
But, you know, he hasn't done that.
You
so
gotta find someone who's willing to put up with you. At the end of the day.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not always going to be rainbows and butterflies. You do have to kind of find someone who's going to be able to put up with you.
Yes, because the good outweighs the bad.
Good.
Okay.
Well, we had so much to talk about, and we just talked about all that for an hour.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Yep.
I'm sorry for anybody that listened to that whole thing.
No, I feel like we have more to talk about to come, but this is like a good relationship episode.
I think it's a good episode on who we are and what our relationship is and mm-hmm. how we work. And
a better intro.
Yeah, it's a better intro of like who we are.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody that wants to know more, I'm pretty much an open book. We'll navigate what that looks like. But
slide in my DMs.
Don't slide in my DMs because I probably will never respond. But
I mean, all of our info will whatever be on any like bios. Oh. Sorry, guys. If you hear the timer, it's because I want to upload these videos to YouTube, and I found out that my camera only lets me record for 29 minutes and 59 seconds.
That's trash.
So I have to do it in these different periods. It's going to come out fine. This will be a better one. But yeah, my Instagram, Ellis1994.
And you can just find mine off of Nathan's.
Yeah, and when you go from there, you can find my Twitter too. My Twitter is @curly_top_pop. I used to have very long curly hair. We can definitely get into that.
We're going to have to show pictures on that because you had a glow up.
I won best hair in high school, baby.
Yeah, well,
you know what I'm saying?
When you chopped it off, it was a glow up.
Okay. Now, yeah, I'm fresh off shout out my boy Jose, my barber. I got a fresh cut right now for this episode.
You can't do the front because you don't have a hairline in the front.
That's what it is. All right, okay. We got to stop. All right. Love you.
Love you, babe.
Episode 2.
Down.
Boom.
Bye,
Stop
guys.
snitching.